What's happening, everybody? The world is a better place because you are here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. And it is a Wednesday, November 27th, 2024. We are 2 days away from Thanksgiving, and we're going to recap what happened in the NFL and college football this past week. Week 12 in the NFL, week 13 in college football. Yeah, shoot. And before we get into all of that, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe to the Productive Conversations podcast on all podcasting platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to check out exclusive content regarding the show across all social media platforms. We're on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, X and Twitter at PodCobblePod. We're on TikTok at Productive Conversations and Facebook at Productive Conversations. And as always, I want to just thank our presenting sponsor, Magic Mind. Don't forget to check out Magic Mind for the best elixir. Thanks to a signature nootropics and vitamins, it will help enhance your life and give you a better boost for everything that is going on in your life. Go to magicmind.com/PCMBBF for a special 50% off discount for Black Friday. The deal ends December 6th. Magic Mind, reclaim your brain. So we're officially just at the end of college football and the start of the NFL. Sorry, not the start. And towards the crucial month of December for the NFL. And basically, what we're going to talk about now, we're going to quickly go over the college football playoff rankings and look a little bit at the week 14, the final regular season week. And then we will talk about what happened in the NFL last week as well. And so with college football to discuss there, we obviously will cover this week. And then we'll be back recording on Mondays for December as we hit into the conference championship week next week. And we shape up what the college football playoff will be. And then we might working out the details, but likely we'll do a separate first week of December college football bracket show. Sorry. What we'll actually do is now the NFL show will be back recording on Mondays and Mondays. And then Tuesday night I will release the college football week 14 show. College football 14 next week will be on Tuesday. NFL week 12 will be a week 13 weekend review will be on Monday. And then college football week 14 will be reviewed on late Tuesday, early Wednesday. And don't forget our tweet caps on Tuesday and Friday as well. So busy week as we head into Thanksgiving. So just the gist of what happened in college football this past week, from Indiana getting exposed by Ohio State, a big 38-15 victory. Down goes Colorado, losing to Kansas, probably crushing their college football hopes away. We had Alabama only scored 3 points against Oklahoma, a huge victory there and crushing defeat for Alabama. Probably kills their college football playoff hopes. Well, they'll probably get help from the committee as always. Boise State almost narrowly beats Wyoming. Notre Dame destroys Army. Missouri gets a big 39-20 victory. Plus, the Gamecocks win. Clemson wins. Penn State almost getting upset by Minnesota. They narrowly get a victory there. Kentucky puts a small fight against Texas, but they win. Georgia gets the beatdown. Tennessee. SMU continues to impress people. Ole Miss goes down to Florida. Florida's been very scrappy this year, and it was quite an interesting college football week. And amongst that, as I pull up the college football rankings right now, if errors you have our buys at this moment. Boise State, after narrowly getting that victory, they are getting the fourth seeded bye. Oregon with a big win, continuing their strides. They are the number one seed still. They were off this week. Miami captures the third seed, and Texas gets the second seed, respectfully. And interesting matchups. We have Indiana still in the mix. Even though they're lost, they have an 11th ranked seed against Penn State, keeping the Big 10 alive there. Tennessee and Georgia keep at it. That'd be quite an interesting matchup. Then SMU who's been impressing people all season long. They get the 10th seed with Notre Dame at the 7th, continuing their impressive 9-game winning streak now. Like I said, or Arizona State slipping into the mix with Tulane right behind them. They're in at the final seed, the 12th seed, and Ohio State, the 5th, with Alabama right behind them at the 13th. I think all the college football playoff brackets is fair. I don't see anything immensely controversial. It's just all comes down to this final week, this rivalry week, and then we will have the conference championships next week. But I think we can have a more deeper discussion. I'll even find somebody to discuss the college football playoff with me. Might even have our buddy Ryan for that one. And then we can discuss in further detail what took place there in the college football playoffs. But this is insanely interesting. I can't wait to see where this goes. And yeah, let's see what ultimately happens. But 2 more weeks of college football. Um, sorry, 2 more. We have 1 more week of the regular season. So as I mentioned in programming note, this late Tuesday into Wednesday will be the college football recap on Productive Conversations, and then we will do the NFL back on Monday again, and then we will go from there. So that's where we'll go. Now let's switch gears to the NFL quickly. And here's the bottom line with that. And with with a lot of huge spreads amongst the teams, and with a lot of teams covering those big spreads, it was a very interesting week in the NFL. And as we are hitting the 6 week point, let's talk about what happened at week 12. First, the New York Giants embarrassing themselves 30-7. Tampa Bay keeps their season alive with the beatdown. Everything. It was all Tampa Bay. We get the switch from Tommy DeVito we get the switch from Daniel Jones to Tommy DeVito, and Tommy DeVito did not bring the Tommy Cutlets magic that people expected. I mean, bro only had 14 total yards. Sorry, he only had 10 passing yards in the first half. Played a little bit better in the second half. But Baker Mayfield, with a returning Mike Evans and Bucky Irving turning into one of the most exciting backs in the NFL, Tampa Bay gets a crucial victory. And I mean, what else is there new to talk about with the Giants? They cut Daniel Jones. Even they cut Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones goes to now Minnesota, and we'll see the success he has there with a quarterback who is strongly offensive minded, who everybody so far has worked with him in the quarterback position and has looked pretty great. Kirk Cousins, Josh Dobbs, obviously Sam Darnold now, and we'll see what he could do with Daniel Jones as he goes to the contender he quite frankly deserves. And as for the Giants, well, things are only going to get worse. Hopefully they continue to I shouldn't say that. Not hopefully they continue to lose, but wouldn't be a bad thing because clearly this team needs to rebuild. And if they keep getting having embarrassing losses come their way, I'm sure the Daboll and Shane era will end a little early. But if you have more games like they did against Tampa this week, what's the point of having them return? Especially with the rumors of them losing rumors of them losing the locker room and clear dysfunction, the team calling their play soft and everything. What a mess. When Baker Mayfield did the Tommy Cutlets dance, adding insult to injury, that's exactly what the Giants, quite frankly, deserved. So big victory for Tampa, 30-7, much needed for them. And the Giants continue to ride this horrendous 100th season at 2-9 at the end of week 13. Sorry, at the beginning of week 13. Then we had the Steelers and Browns, a classic game in the snow. Jameis Winston gets heroic, if you will. Very entertaining. Nick Chubb getting touchdowns again, what they needed. And this is the second week, and now the Steelers have lost definitely 2 in a row. I believe it's 3 in a row. We'll double check that. The Steelers, as they go into a crucial game against Cincinnati. Oh, I apologize. The Steelers slipping up against the Browns. But I mean, entertaining game throughout. They kept it close. No doubt the wintry conditions made it exciting, pure football guy weather. And with Cleveland winning 24-19, putting a wrench with the Steelers season, but I doubt that they won't falter anymore. It's George Pickens. Don't fight with people, bro. But Cleveland getting an important not 24-19 victory thanks to Jameis Winston heroics in an entertaining Thursday night games. I have to say the Thursday night games have been quite entertaining over this whole season, and hopefully that tradition continues. Chiefs and Panthers. For a second, you thought the Panthers pulled the comeback. They made it close, but he gave Patrick Mahomes enough time to make the fourth quarter comeback. I still think you can respect the effort the Panthers had. They put the Chiefs on the brink, maybe even showed some of their weaknesses. But yeah, Kansas City's defense giving up 27 points against one of the worst offense in the league, but reckon a Carolina team that has been played better and probably played out of being the worst team in the league. Not the joke, that's the Giants or Jets. And Kansas City getting the beat down, kicking ass, but barely. It's just a matter of giving enough time on the clock for Mahomes and another fourth quarter comeback in the books. We really would have loved to see Carolina pull off this upset, but it wasn't meant to be. Chiefs just missed the spread again. I believe now they're 2-10 during against the spread. And well, though it was a big offensive juggernaut for both teams, Kansas City slightly pulled off the victory. And we thought for a second that Jaden Daniels was going to lead the Commanders out of their losing streak. And with an incredible 86-yard play to Terry McLaurin, you thought that things were looking up. Then the Sybart's blocked field goal leads the Cowboys to get more time. You already thought the game was over, but then the Cowboys ran away with it after that. And Cowboys getting a big 34-26 victory, getting a little smoke off that they were getting, especially getting embarrassed at having players get caught at the club during the bye week and everything. I think Dallas wanted this personally, and they were able to pull it off. I don't think we should worry about the Commanders yet. Yeah, they slid, but Jaden Daniels looks fine out there. It's just the Washington defense, which people have pointed out could be considered a weakness for this team. I believe Washington can bounce back, but clearly this is now Philly's divisional win as they have the momentum and Commanders continue their losing ways and the Cowboys pull off a incredible victory. Then, we'll talk about why don't we talk about, even though it was Sunday night, another game of his life for Saquon Barkley, 255 rushing yards alone, couple touchdowns, 26 carries, breaking tackles and giving just a hard time for the LA Rams defense. The Rams at home in a crucial game that they need for their close division leaves with Philly now looking better than ever, offensively and defensively. Big victory for Philly on Sunday night, thanks to Saquon playing his heart out and looking insanely and looking like a Hall of Famer, quite frankly. And no, he wouldn't have played this way with the Giants offense and offensive linemen. But Saquon, you could really argue he's the MVP, especially if they secure this division that they have a 2-game lead on, and if they can make a run in the playoffs, something to consider. I will say that for somebody I was very upset leaving. Dolphins and Patriots are pretty much all Dolphins. Now they're exciting. They're back in the mix. They are healthy. They might make some noise while they're in the hunt. And as they play a big game on Thanksgiving against Green Bay, a big game at home against the New England Patriots was what Miami needed. Well, Drake May look good in a couple instances. Just the Patriots continuing to lose as they expected. But the big game here, and especially a big tour performance, leads to Miami getting a crucial victory and an important victory to keep their season alive and keep them in the hunt. Interesting 34-15 victory on that one. Titans and Texans. The Texans, another slipping up, and the Titans scoring 32 points with an improved play by Will Levis leads to a big 32-27 victory. There were definitely moments as a back and forth battle, but a couple CJ Stroud mistakes, and then the defense not being able to keep up with Tony Pollard of all people, and an improved Will Levis performance, and Calvin Ridley for somebody who did nothing in the first half and has had nothing but big games in the second half. Texans get a big upset victory against the Texans in their division. Lions and Colts, a little close for comfort. It wasn't the offensive juggernaut that we expected the Lions to usually play against these teams, but it was the defense only preventing 6 points against Indianapolis, plus some Indianapolis injuries, lead them to their ninth victory of the season. Thanks to the running back by committee, again, the best running back duo, one of the best running back duos we'll ever see, Monty and Montgomery and Gibbs. Despite not throwing a touchdown to Jared Goff, still was able to facilitate well and get his team in the right positions. And then the Colts defense just getting eaten up, getting sacked, dropping balls, and and Detroit getting their ninth straight victory thanks to an incredible defensive game. Bears and Vikings going down to the wire, entertaining, entertaining throughout. Caleb Williams was very impressive in this game, 32 for 47, 340 yards and 2 touchdowns, but and also leading and also at one point down 27-16 in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter, and it was Caleb Williams leading his team down. Keenan Allen finally waking up. The Bears finally using all the weapons they have, but unfortunately there was just enough time for Minnesota to get down to the field late in overtime, and they get a big victory that they needed to get back into the mix and back into some good graces with a walk-off field goal there. Bears 4-7. I'm sure you are seeing Matt Eberflus on a tightrope. I doubt he's the coach next year. But the Bears finally showing some strides, but ultimately the Vikings having everything go their way. And even for what presumably was a quieter game for Justin Jefferson, thanks to Addison and the running game and Sam Darnold to improve, finally snapping out of the slump he was in, they're able to get 30 points on the board while the Bears only get 27, and the Minnesota gets a big victory there. Broncos and Raiders, pretty much all Broncos. Bo Nix improving week after week. Raiders get, unfortunately, a horrible Gardner Minshew broken collarbone injury, but also not making any strides on offense. And the Broncos continuing to rise their ranks. Good chance while they're still in the mix, there is a chance that they get back in the playoffs and break their consecutive playoff list streak. But Denver with the 29-19 victory over the Vegas Raiders, and this in due to part to Bo Nix, not only setting the touchdown record for rookie quarterbacks for Denver, but also impressing the league. And really, both sides of the ball are awesome. They had a slow start, Denver did, but Sean Payton shows the great coach he is by finally getting this team on the right track. Interested to see where that goes. 49ers and Packers. 49ers with the backup quarterback. It was all Packers. Actual frustrating moves, and the 49ers are under 500 this late in the season is surprising. Now, they've been killed by injuries all season long, but only scoring 10 points against Green Bay at Lambeau. It was tough act to follow, thanks to Josh Jacobs, who's also having a revitalizing season for him and the running game in Green Bay. Saquon switches teams. He goes off. Josh Jacobs switched teams, he goes off. Joe Mixon switches teams, he goes off. Derrick Henry switches team, goes off. Guess all these running backs who met in the offseason to talk about commanding the respect that they deserve and proving why that they need to get paid more. Well, they're doing just that. You got to give their hats off to the running backs, these veteran running backs who switched teams and got paid and only making impacts on their offense. That was pretty that has been pretty impressive. And Josh Jacobs is just one of a few who's leading that charge. And thanks to scoring 3 touchdowns and then the Green Bay defense giving no mercy to San Francisco and their backup quarterback, Green Bay gets a big victory. And clearly, the NFC North is the best division in football. No doubt about that. Awesome stuff there. Green Bay, Minnesota, Detroit, Chicago. Interesting. And they've all had their strides and all have been impressive. But especially those three, Minnesota, Green Bay, and Detroit, you can't be nothing but impressed. Cardinals and Seahawks. The Seahawks simmered down the momentum that Arizona did have, but a close defensive battle leads to Seattle getting a big and much needed victory. And in this game, he just had enough time. It was ultimately Geno making the moves. Kyler had a difficult game, throwing a turnover, not getting the receivers they needed. The running game was non-existent for Arizona, and we see how big that is a part of their offense when they win games and score big points. But thanks to the Seattle defense and slipping away for what was also a great defensive game for Arizona, Seattle wins 16-6 on a late Sunday evening. And then the Ravens and Chargers, the Harbaugh ball, back and forth once again. Ravens getting back in the mix, and it's a big 30-23 victory. Really could have gone either way. Unfortunately, Chargers lost J.K. Dobbins, but Gus Edwards comes in and he makes some strides. But Lamar Jackson playing like the MVP, and while he didn't have an absolutely crazy game, he was still able to get the ball down the field, most importantly, using his arm and being accurate, and then getting a couple touchdowns needed. But Derrick Henry, again, with 24 carries and 140 yards, despite throwing no touchdowns, he helps the offense move. And Herbert, some points of the game look good, and then crucial drops from his receivers, especially Quentin Johnson, led to missed opportunities in this game at home. I still think the Chargers will be fine. I expect them to be in the playoffs, but a crucial Dobbins injury and then bad miscues and misses towards the end led to Los Angeles losing this game and Baltimore getting some momentum once again, 34-23 on Monday night for Baltimore. But that'll wrap up our football show of the week. That'll wrap up our week in productive conversations. Again, next week, you'll see me on Monday talk about the NFL Week 13. Tuesday, we have another tweet cap. And then late Tuesday into Wednesday, we will do the college football review in the final regular season of the week. And then look at the college football playoff. And then another tweet cap next Friday as we start the month of December. That's it. Good stuff, everybody. I love and appreciate every single one of you. I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving, a safe Black Friday, and let's watch some football and remember what Thanksgiving is all about. Enjoy, be thankful, and yeah, that's all she wrote for November 2024. How about that? All right, my name is Matt Brown. Check us out on all social media platforms and check us out on all podcasting platforms and YouTube and exclusive content across all social media platforms. And I will see you all very soon. Much love. Peace.